Yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, as an entity at the Council of Europe, we are a good governance department, we're called actually. So I'm very glad that you made this small introduction into my presentation, because we have at the Council of Europe also a little bit of complicated structure. Luckily for us, the events don't change anything. We keep all our member states on board. So we can continue and go on like we were doing before. Yesterday you had a chance to have a presentation from a member of the Congress. So they are the ones who actually deal with everything which is local, regional, and they are focused on that in a political sense, let's say. What we do as Good Governance Department and DG for Democracy, we are more like practitioners. So, and we came to understanding that we have to tackle all reforms at local and regional level, which we promote from the perspective of public administration reform, multi-governance, and all the links have to be very clearly established in all our work. So in a way, yesterday we had many presentations which were dealing with all kinds of tools that everyone has. So we do have tools also, quite a few of them actually. I had the whole list to present you, but I will concentrate, given time frame, on the essentials. How we tackle the issue of human resource management? We tackle it as a part of governance, a part of good governance, and we consider human resource management tool which we have developed as a Center for Expertise, as a good governance department. We consider it as a part of good governance tool. We see it in the perspective of more global public administration reforms going on in different member states, and that's how we treat it. Because, as previous speaker actually quite obviously noticed, that at the local level, the professionalism of civil service was neglected for quite a long time. So everyone was concentrating on fighting corruption at central level, everyone was concentrating on many things which are going on at the central level of government. But it was often forgotten that it's local tier where citizens are closest to the authorities. That's where they go to get their little papers. That's where they go to do whatever. That's where the elections, actually, they know every person in, like personally, basically. Every mayor they choose or anyone, they know that person. So on one hand, it's an extremely serious advantage to improve governance at local level, because people are known, because what they do is known, and how they do it is known. On the other hand, civil service at the local level is not yet professional. So how do we deal with that? That's a big, big puzzle which was not addressed and which can't be put in place immediately, just as it is way easier to do at the central level. Then there is a political decision, you reform, you improve, it's already professional. How do you tackle this at local level? Well, all these advantages and disadvantages. When you tackle public procurement at the local level, that's something which gets complicated, you know. How can I refuse my cousin who has, you know, it's all very, very delicate matters. But on the other hand, if you tackle it properly, if you tackle it in a modern way, it can work. It can work easier, and it can be an example for reform at the central level. Because the successes, we have some successes. We have Georgia as a big success, where it was done even like the minister here, she presented like in 4 or 5 months in Albania, people could bear a lot and they actually got adjusted. In Georgia, it was done like that. 10 years ago, from totally Soviet system, they changed into something which is basically totally exemplary. You come to one office, it's transparent office, they call it House of Transparency. It is transparent, in fact, in practice, because it's only windows. They have no walls. So basically, you can see what everyone is doing. Like, I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's kind of good message. Even booths of policemen were transparent until recently. Now, with the change of government, they do them a little bit less transparent. But so they changed it basically in a couple of days. And a citizen can come to the transparent building and obtain any document in a matter of 15 minutes. So there was a will, there were many, many problems because many people got fired. But okay, now it works, it functions, and it became what is the best. It became normal. They don't even think it's something like common people. They don't think it's something exceptional. That's how it is. And that happened in the lapse of time of 2-3 years. So basically, the change of mentality was there. It triggered an enormous change in people's mentality. Now they consider getting a service from administration a normal, regular thing. So that's a good example. I have to be very, very brief. So basically, what I want to say that as a Council of Europe, we are glad to be part of all that. But what would be even more desirable for us is to join our forces more seriously with RESPA, as we talk here, with our Austrian partners, with many others who are present at this event, so that we can be all together, we can contribute in a more practical way with all our available tools to something which is going on, we all talk about here, which is multi-level reforms, multi-level governance. And if we tackle all reforms at all levels from perspective of bigger picture of public administration reform, I think that's the only way to succeed. We have to see always and keep in mind the big picture. We don't have to concentrate on small tasks, but we can, how this will impact something else, you know? I'm not talking butterfly effect, it would be too much. But we have to always keep inside this big picture. And from Vienna, I will actually go to Belgrade because we are launching the second stage of a project of human resource management reform, which I am in charge of at the Council of Europe, and I want to tackle it differently from the first stage. And probably you have noticed the difference already. We have reshaped the entire proposal, which was the basis for this, into something different, which we really want to be a contribution to the ongoing reform in Serbia. We want to see it as something practical, which will be helpful, which will be, let's hope, be easy to implement, which will be understandable, and which the authorities at the central level can take on board immediately. So this is something not very typical for Council of Europe, how we want to run this project. But we want to be very practical about it. So, and I hope it will work. We have a first meeting of our steering committee on Monday. And I hope we are all in understanding by today. So I don't know what will happen on Monday, but we do hope that this will be something we will really do, or not perhaps trigger a change, but at least it will be a good contribution to a change, given the goodwill and good momentum which is there already. So we do hope we are useful, we do hope we will have more demand, and we do hope that our good governance tools and a nice exhibit, which you can see there in the coffee room, will be awarded to many countries, which are all still there. So, thank you.